Dartmouth Community Media, your exclusive source for all things Dartmouth, is proud to present exclusive coverage of Dartmouth High School Lady Indian varsity basketball action here at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center as the Lady Indians of Dartmouth High School play host to the Lady Trojans of Bridgewater Raynham Regional High School. Hello again, everyone. Ian Abreu back here with you for what should be a very exciting winter sports season here on DCTV and Dartmouth Community Media. I am joined alongside my friend, my fellow New Bedford City Council colleague, a local basketball coach, player, official. I think he's done it all. He's ran basketball camps, but more importantly, he will be an excellent addition to the DCTV team, and he will be offering great insight this entire basketball season. Derek Baptiste. Derek, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Ian. It's a pleasure to be here. Bear with me, my first time doing this, so this is going to be a fun experience.
That's okay, Derek. Well, I know you know the game very well, but for those of the folks out there, whether watching on the YouTube live stream or on DCTV, before we get into the X's and O's in these two teams, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started coaching about 25 years ago at the Boys and Girls Club as a volunteer. Over the years, I've started summer basketball leagues. We've also done AAU teams with the Mass Silk program, the New Bedford Hoops Youth Sports Organization. We've been running for about 10 years now. That plays in the Metro West. Metro West Conference, and we're pretty big right now, and we're doing some good things in the community. So it's good to see a lot of the local kids that you've been seeing coming up over the years. I've seen a lot of these young ladies come up over the years, so it's good to see them right now.
Well, that's great, and we're happy to have you. Well, we'll start with the homestanding Dartmouth High Indians. They finished out 15-6 last year. They ended up placing in the 8th seed in the MIAA tournament. They were bounced in the first round by NOS at 58-48. They lost 6 seniors last year, Derek, but head coach Scott Richards in his 7th year, he still seems to have a lot of depth, and they should be very competitive this year nonetheless.
The good thing about Dartmouth's program is a lot of these girls have been playing together since they've been in 4th grade, so they know a lot about each other. Losing that senior leadership, though, they're losing their top 2 scorers from last year, their top 2 rebounders from last year. So it's an adjustment. It's high school basketball. You have to adjust as you go along through the years.
And of course, the Dartmouth High Indians are playing against a very formidable Southeast Conference League opponent tonight in the BR Trojans. And Derek, before the game tonight, we were talking about how this is probably one of the best, if not the best, girls' high school programs in the state.
Oh, this is one of the top teams in Eastern Massachusetts right now, and they're not even playing with their best player right now, who's injured. Duke commit. I'm sorry, I'm over here looking at Dartmouth's roster.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Shea Bolin, Duke commit Shea Bolin.
Yes.
She's injured and can't play tonight, and she's a monster. So it's going to be a different atmosphere tonight. But BR comes loaded every year. They retool every year. 21-3 last year. Best in the Eastern Mass, so you know what you're going to get when you get from them.
And of course, they're led by Kenzie Matalanis, Derek, who averaged almost 11 points a game last season, and she'll be a player to watch out for if you're a Dartmouth fan.
I think Dartmouth got their hands full today, but I think that is going to be good for Dartmouth.
We will now rise for the playing of the national anthem. All right, we're ready to go at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center, and we'll take a look at the starting lineups for both Bridgewater Raynham and Dartmouth High School.
All right, for Bridgewater Raynham, we're starting number 2, Junior God, Amber Silva. Also starting junior forward, number 10, Fiona Kelly. Senior forward, Bella Calvani, number 21. Kenzie Matalonis, the senior God, number 24. And Talia Ta, 34, senior God.
And for the homestanding Indians, senior guard Samara Turjan, junior guard Casey Oliver, senior guard Audrey Morin, sophomore guard Abby Zuber, and rounding out the starting lineup will be Alexandra Kojukaru, the sophomore forward. Silk, one of the things we talked about here are these new amended rules, and as you see here, no opening tip-off.
No opening tip-off, and they're going to go with Dartmouth wins the possession, and Bria has the possession arrow coming out.
There you go. Quarterbacking the offense is Audrey Moore, and as you see her across the timeline, looking to penetrate on Silva, gets a pick set by Kojukaru. Back top of the key, a 20-footer, bang.
Casey Oliver, good 2 points right there, coming off a screen. It looked good. They're running a 4-low, little flex cuts going on with the offense.
So Dartmouth draws first blood. Now we kick it left side of the elbow. That's Fiona Kelly. It's deflected now over to Matalonis, and she now sends it over to Silva. Right side of the arc. Silva again on the give and go. She tries a 3. Side rimmed. Rebound goes to the Indians, and it's hoovered up by Morin. Morin looking for help. Go ahead, Derek.
Little tough 5-second call, right? Getting counted right now.
Loose ball out of bounds, deflected, and it goes off of the Indians. It'll remain Bridgewater Raynham basketball. They're going to say a win off of Zuber. To inbound just in front of us now will be Amber Silva.
You know, it's going to be tough this year with the new rules and everything going on. So it's, you know, it's the girls getting their feet wet too with these new rules. So it's going to be a little tough at first, and I expect the games to get a little cleaner as we go along.
Here's Kelly, kicks it over to Matalonis. She's the player to watch. Up top to Kelly, looking to penetrate, being guarded hard by Turjan. Now we have Talia Ta from downtown, and it's good.
Talia Ta for 3. It's coming off that high screen. They're working in a 2-3 zone, Dartmouth is, so they're trying to send Ta to the middle more and then pull her out to the key.
Here's Oliver, splits the D, tries to go up top with the shot. She's hacked on the way up. They're going to call it against Matalonis, I believe. Either Matalonis or, let's see the call here. And we'll wait for the call. Matalonis was there on the defense, on the contact up top, but seems to be a little confusion here on whether or not it's a shooting foul or a side out.
I think with the new rules coming in now, everybody's wearing masks. You can't make the same. You can't have the same, you know, contact with the referees. You know, they're losing some of their vibe as a 3-man crew too. Not reading lips. You know, you have to. You can't read lips, and you can't. You know.
So Matalonis was there, but they're actually going to call it against Amber Silver. So that's her first team foul. And as you can see, the free throw line, Derek, another amended rule. You don't have full octane of players on both sides of the charity stripe.
Yeah, you're going to have 2 defenders down low and 1 offensive team player in the zone while you have a shooter.
So Casey Oliver hits both, and the Indians regain the lead. Here's Kelly. Kick it on our side here on the near side, Matalonis. Back up top to Kelly. Silva back to Ta, who drilled the 3 not too long ago. Now we have another 3. This time on the right side, it's Kelly, and it's good.
You know, they work the ball around very well. They move without the ball very well in that zone, so they keep on keeping the defense on their toes.
Turnover there by the Indians. The throw was way too hot to handle by Oliver. It goes off the tips of the fingers of Turjan, and it'll be BR basketball with a 6-4 lead.
You know, Dartmouth's looking real good early in this game. You know, they're not coming out intimidated by the record, by the reputation of BR. So I look forward to seeing how this game's going to turn out.
Scott Richards, in his 7th year, one of the best high school basketball girls coaches in the region. Been around a long time. He knows the score. There's a chance on the right side. That's an air ball on a shot by Silva, and it's hoovered up by the Indians and grabbed by Morin. Morin crosses the timeline to Oliver. Kick it to Zuber. Side rim no good, but a nice offensive rebound by Turjan, and we get a new shot clock. There's a shot top of the key, and it's good for Oliver.
Oliver's coming out on fire today. She came to play. She got her game face on today. You know, they're doing a good job. I think that Dartmouth switched it up, going from zone to man, so they can try to.
There's a penetration. It's up, and it's good. That's Bella Calvani.
That was a good penetration, going to the hoop, scoring nice and easy on the layup. Their motion is really well. They play really good together. You can tell a lot of these kids that play year-round together.
There's Oliver, breaks the press, tries to bank it off the window. No good. Rebound grabbed by Madalonis, and the Trojans look to break. Back up top. Madalonis, three, bang.
Madalonis for three.
And with that three ball, Scott Richards has seen enough silk. He's going to call a timeout with his Indians down by 5 at 11-6. And Derek will take a look at that last Madalonis three-pointer.
Well, what happens is they get out in transition. They get up to the right side of the floor. They're always looking to push the ball. The swing comes right back to the wing, three-pointer. They're just coming back in transition. They're very fast with their transition games. You can tell they run lanes very well, outside, inside, and they're sending guys to spot. They're sending young ladies to spots to score.
Well, Derek, I'll tell you, I think you've been doing this a while. For a first-timer, you're telestrating, you're breaking it down. But, of course, this is all second nature to you. This is your game.
I love basketball. I love the game. I love being around it. I love being around the local kids and seeing them come up and seeing when they was looking at them as young kids and then seeing them on the high school level and go beyond that. It's, you don't get this back. You don't get this time back.
And unfortunately, of course, here because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the second surge that we're in, Derek, unfortunately, the parents and fans and spectators can't come here, which makes our broadcast all the more important because we know the parents of these student athletes, the fans, and the greater South Coast, New Bedford, Dartmouth community, they're all tuning into these games. So we hope that you enjoy these broadcasts.
They come into these games and you don't understand how much the parents spend, the time that they spend going to these games, paying money and, all these years and coming. They want to see their kids play high school basketball. It's tough for the seniors' parents because this is going to be their last year watching their kids play high school basketball. And that's who I really feel for.
Zuber to inbound under the hoop. Inbounds pass stolen by Madalonis, and now we're going to get a turnover out of bounds as Madalonis stepped on the line. It'll be Indian ball.
They're coming into a 1-2-2 zone. 1-2-2 press, and they're trying to trap. That's what they're doing. They're trapping at every chance. So Dartmouth's going to have to get that ball up the court. We're going to have to find somebody more than Oliver that can score the basketball today.
Well, here's Kojukara with a chance on the baseline, but she takes it up top. Bounce pass to Oliver. Oliver trying to take it to Silva. There's Oliver kicking it back up top. Kojukara, 8 on the shot clock. They have to hurry. Kojukara, that's a 2. No good. Rebound grabbed by Calvani.
And there they go running again. See how they run the floor. Look at them.
There's Calvani. That was beautiful, Derek,
good
end to end.
They just play good basketball.
And Calvani gets the finish. And there's that pressure again, Derek, you talked about.
They're gonna send number 21, which is Calvani, up on the top of the trap, and she's gonna be the trapper.
Here's Oliver. As Derek said, it has to be more than her. Send it down low to Morin. Morin tries for an up fake. She knew that she had nowhere to go. Tries to go to the hoop. Draws the contact down low against Calvani. And she'll get a couple of shots from the charity stripe. And we'll take a replay look at that last contact down low.
I think they're running a little motion, and then good cut to the hoop, and then just strong move, and Calvani got to keep her hands straight up. So that was a good play to get to the foul line today.
So that'll be Calvani's first personal, second team foul, and again, at the line is Zuber, who hit the first. And she's 2 for 2.
Second. Get her in the books.
And, Derek, we have our first substitution of the season. Checking in will be Lauren Hall. She'll come in, and Casey Oliver will take a breather.
Lauren Hall comes in the game. Freshman guard. So a freshman's getting their first taste of high school action. Big for her. This is big for her. This is a big contest right now.
Against one of the best teams in the state. No pressure.
Yeah, you're here now.
Here's Madalonis. Boy, that was powerful. Off the rim, no good. We have the contact down low. However, after the shot was missed, and it's still going to remain Bridgewater Raynham ball as a result of the contact, and it's going to result in obvious some free throw attempts here. The foul is going to go against Zuber.
And the foul goes against Zuber, and with the drive left going straight, I think it was a good call. I think it was a late call, but it's just
sort of a delayed call.
But it's just like the mail, as long as it comes, no matter when you get your mail, as long as it comes.
With the holidays coming, that just came in wind, Derek. That's sort of a sore subject for people.
I know.
And so one of two shots are made at the line. It's now a 14-8 ball game. Still a two-possession game, and there's that pressure out of bounds. It went off the foot of Morin. However, Morin does draw the contact as a result, and it'll be a foul against Bridgewater Raynham, and it'll result in a side out for Zuber. The foul
was on number 12.
Is going to go against Jakes.
So they're still in their trap defense. I think that Dartmouth's doing a good job now moving it up. They have to go to the hoop, though. They have to start attacking the hoop and attacking that pressure.
Kojukaru tries an up and under. It's sort of muffed, sort of blocked, and it's grabbed by Kelly. Coast to coast, no good.
Move.
Tries to draw the contact, no call. Now the Indians look to bring it in transition, and that is a clear and blatant traveling violation against Emma Tatro, the junior guard. Just couldn't really get a handle on it.
There's just a lot of pressure. She's getting the ball on the post. Right here, you need a nice little pump fake, getting her up in the air, and then go back up with it. And then you look at the forward bringing it down, going coast to coast.
Another sub coming in now, this time for Bridgewater Raynham. Reese Bartlett comes in, and Talia Ta will take a seat. All right, here we go. On the far right side of the arc, that's Posick. Posick trying to go in. Nice dump-off pass. It's up and good, as it's slammed in off the window by Reese Bartlett just off the bench, 16-8.
They're coming in, they're interchangeable as they're coming into the game, and they all know their roles. The good thing that you're seeing about BR is they know everybody's roles, they know what everybody can do well. So, they're working with that right now. They're dealing.
We had a foul by Dana Posick just off the bench for BR on the reach. That'll be her first personal, fourth team foul. So BR still not even anywhere close to the penalty yet. Here's Morin. Morin, send it over left side. That's Haley Jenkins. Jenkins trying to kick it over. She does. Gets it to Hall. Hall on the right side. That's a baseline jumper by Morin. No good. It's an air ball. Rebound goes back to BR.
BR's coming down. They run their offense very well. See what they're in.
Madalonis, a deep three, and that's nothing but net. Kenzie Madalonis, 19-8 your score.
She's
starting to heat up.
She has ice water in her veins. Another turnover.
Another turnover and a steal. And we're going to get a foul on the floor. The layup that was made and completed by Kelly is no good. The foul was made prior to her making the basket. And the foul is going to go, Derek, against Lauren Hall, her first personal.
It's tough right now, especially when you haven't seen the speed of some of these games. They haven't had the practice time. They haven't got a chance to get in shape. So a lot of these girls, you can see it's going to take them some time to get their rhythm. And you can tell BR's been in a rhythm. So it's kind of tough.
Inbounding under the hoop now will be Jakes. And now they realize it has to be side out.
They were going to side out, yeah.
No rules. I think our buddies missed one earlier for side out under the hoop, but that's okay. It's opening day for everybody.
It's opening day for everybody. So
these guys have been officiating for how long, Derek? They've been doing this the same way.
This is a pretty veteran crew.
There's another three, this time again by Madalonis, but it's no good. Rebound grabbed by Calvani. She was 1-on-3. Great boxing out by Calvani, and she draws the contact.
They're a total team. She got good position down low, boxed out, used the body very well, and went up there in a crowd of 4, and she came down with the ball.
And the foul went against Allie Chester for the Indians, the sophomore forward just off the bench. Here's Madalonis getting a pick set by Calvani. Tries another three. Front rimmed, no good. Ball is on the deck. Who wants it? We have a jump ball called.
And it'll stay Bridgewater ball.
It'll stay Bridgewater ball because Dartmouth had won the toss, and They received first. Am I talking about football or
It's,
basketball
it's
here?
like football. It's like the kickoffs now. They should just do punts and kickoffs up over here to start the games.
It's like that movie Basketball. Remember that
Yeah.
movie?
You're getting old school right now.
Here's Madelon, top of the key. Nice pick again by Calvani. Dumps it off to Posick. Trying to go in. No good. Her pass attempt to Bartlett is errant, and the Indians will take over.
This is where Dartmouth has to push the ball.
Drop it back now to Hall. Hall gets her pocket picked by Madelonis and sets away all alone. It's up and good. Madelonis sending away number 23, Bartlett, and it's 21-8. And Derek, it's starting to get away from the Indians now with the score 21-8.
It's 21-8, but if you look at the two teams, you can tell the veteran leadership. You can tell that BR got their things together. It's not a knock against the Dartmouth girls. They have a very young team. They have a very good team to look forward to. And I think that these lumps right here that they'll go through early will help them sophomore, junior, senior year, because they got a lot of underclassmen on this team. It's a brand new squad, and they're learning their way, and this is a good thing. Sometimes this is a good thing.
So needless to say, there may be some growing pains this year, but whether it's high school, collegiate, professional, these things are cyclical, and it happens.
They got two seniors on their roster. They got two freshmen on their roster. And they lost 6 seniors last year, and including their 2020 Dave Cowens Award winner. And when you lose a leader like that, when you lose senior leadership like that, and you have to rebuild very young, it takes time. I hope that people don't get impatient with how these girls are progressing, knowing that as time goes, they're going to get so much better.
So Scott Richards burned a full timeout there, and well, if you're Coach Richards, what do you say here? Obviously, one basket at a time, one possession at a time. I know it sounds cliche, but I'm not sure what more else you can say here.
When it gets down to
inbound pass, more trouble. It goes off the hands of Oliver, up and good, as Bartlett makes the Indians pay right off the timeout.
They're coming right into their pressure, and they're nonstop. I think Dartmouth has to send somebody to the ball.
We have a nice full court press, and it's stolen, and here's Bartlett again, trying to go toward the hoop. Bartlett now on the baseline, kicking it over to Calvani, who tries to go up and over, but she's hacked on the way up. Another foul called against the Indians, 15 foul, second personal foul against Allie Chester.
I think the problem is right now with Dartmouth getting the ball over half court. They got to send somebody to the ball, somebody to the middle of the court. You can't dribble through the press. They're trying to dribble through the press instead of working the ball through the press.
Posick on the give and go with Chester. Trying to go now deep. Going to the rack, up and in now is Kelly into the free throw line area. She tries to go in, no good, but she draws the contact, and she'll shoot a pair. She draws contact from Haley Jenkins. That's her first personal, 6th team foul. And already, Derek, we're not even in the second quarter, and Dartmouth's in foul trouble.
They're in the bonus next foul. Bridgewater's in the bonus next foul. They got a significant lead right now. I think that they have to go over their press breaker, make their passes a little bit crisper. I think on offensively, Dartmouth really needs to start, instead of just cutting, setting picks off the cuts and setting picks off the ball, to stop freeing people. They have to stop freeing people.
Well, Dartmouth, you would think, would play for the last shot here, but they can't even get the ball. And great play by Jakes on the steal. Down low, the layup is up and good by Dana Posick. Oh, my. 26-8, and the Indians can't even get the ball in, Derek.
They can't even get the ball in. I think that's the best way to do it, get it to the middle of the floor.
And Jenkins is called for the travel. And now the Trojans have a lot of time at half court to have a set play here for one final shot.
2.7, and they got something set up.
Calvani to Posick, has to hurry, throws up a prayer, no good. And that'll wrap up the first quarter of play here with the score. Bridgewater Raynham 26, the Dartmouth High School Indians 8. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with second quarter action in less than 3 minutes here on Dartmouth Community Media. And we're back for a second quarter action here at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center. Ian Abreu alongside Derek Baptiste here with you courtside. And Derek, it certainly wasn't very pretty for the homestanding Indians in that first quarter. They're down 26-8. Hopefully they can turn it around.
Well, we have to get the ball in first.
And there's the first play, an interception. A layup is no good by Madalonis. You'll never see that hardly.
That's
The
an
rebound is
offensive
grabbed
foul.
by Ta, and she's called for the elbow.
Quick offensive foul on top. I think Madalonis, you have to put a three-point line near the layup line because if it was a three-pointer, she'd hit it.
Here's Oliver, and the Indians are finally cracking the timeline here. Oliver to the rack, no good, draws the contact on the way. She draws the contact from Silva down low, and we'll get 2 shots at the free throw line ensuing, and we'll take a look at that last play.
I think she did a good job penetrating. Silva didn't set her feet. That's why she got called for the foul, but I think it's a good job. She's starting the second quarter off like she started the first quarter off. Going right to the rack, scoring the ball. I think they need to start setting some picks, getting some people open so they can free up some things on the offensive end.
And Casey Oliver makes them both, and the Indians finally crack double digits. They're down by 16, however, 26-10.
Well, as I would tell my kids, we're only down by 8 baskets.
It's a good way to put it.
Only down by 8.
Ta thought about a 3, but instead puts the ball on the deck. Madelon is a deep 3. Back iron rebound on the deck. It's grabbed. It's loose. Grabbing it was Zuber, and we're going to get a jump ball call, and the arrow's going to go to BR.
It's going to go to BR, and Madalonis is taking that number 24 on her jersey really serious because she's out there chucking like the Black Mamba.
I haven't heard her call Kobe yet, but
Nah.
oh man,
you can't tell because the mask is on, so you can't read her lips right now.
That's true. She is a heck of a player, but it's her team to lead, certainly at the current time anyway, due to some injuries. Here's Madalonis going to the rack, up and no good, but she's called for the traveling violation. So any contact she was looking to draw is irrelevant. It'll be a Trojan turnover.
Pretty good move. They're setting up in a different zone breaker right now. They're not in the full court trap. So
here's Oliver.
See, this is where I talk about you have to set a screen for somebody off the ball. You got to get somebody open. Good
Oliver
move.
Down
There it
low,
was.
nice cut. And it went to Zuber. Tries to go up. The ball is blocked on the way up by Ta. Ta gives her the old get out of my house. But she is called for the contact. It's her second personal, 7th team foul. And now the Trojans find themselves in foul trouble.
I think that I don't want to say the name wrong. Kojikaru,
yes.
Kojikaru set a nice down screen for Zuba down there. That was the first time they had some action going where somebody actually ran off a screen, and they ran the play very well on the baseline, and that's how she got to the foul line.
And because they are in the penalty, we just talked about their foul trouble. It is a 1-and-1, so Zuber gets the first, and she'll get another.
Chipping away at it. Chipping away.
Can't make them pay for both. Makes 1 out of 2. Better than nothing, 26-11.
Let's see how they slow down their offense right now. Let's see what they're doing to slow down the offense.
That was Emma Flaherty off the bench, kicking it over now to Jakes. Jakes back to Madalonis. The ball is on the floor. Good hustle, but Madalonis wins the battle against Oliver. And the Trojans had numbers for a minute, but they slow it down. Here's Ta, top of the key, over to Madalonis. Spin move, up top. Kelly, a 3. No good. Nice offensive board by Flaherty. Puts it up, no good.
Look up the floor.
Look up the floor, exactly. You had Turgeon not looking up, and she had Kojikaru all alone under the hoop.
You got to keep your eyes up when you're going up the floor. Somebody's always running the floor. I like what they're doing right now. I think that, they slowed them down earlier in the zone. They went man, and they're getting kind of lost in that man-to-man. I think they should maybe think about going back into a little zone defense and get out to the shooters. You know who the shooter is.
Here's Kelly. Kelly down low. Nice cut, and it's good. Coming out of nowhere was Kara Cronin. No one saw that one coming. 28-11.
It's the constant movement that they have. Right back to the middle, right up the sideline.
Here's Kojikaru over to Turgeon. Turgeon tries a spin move, slows it down. Kicks it up top of the key to Morin. Morin will swing it over to Zuber. Zuber tries a floater.
Good
No
job.
good, but she draws the contact.
Should go into the hoop. You can't get to the foul line if you don't go to the hoop.
You know, Derek, and I've been saying that for years, you know, and I'm not a basketball player. I'm not a coach. I'm not an official, nor do I play one on TV, but you see here drawing the contact. Why is it that you see these set plays, and whether it's high school, college basketball, where they'll have a player top of the key and they're down by 2 or down by 1, and they'll take a 20, 25 footer instead of taking it to the hoop and trying to draw the contact. I never understand why more teams don't play like that.
I think the game changed as number 30 from Golden State started hitting them balls from all over the court. So, you know, that's when the game changed. We're not in the old school style of basketball play. And, you know, they have to really understand that, you know, what them 2 points and going to the hoop is going to get you to the foul line. It's you know, they're moving up now. They're getting contact. They're getting fouls because they're not settling for jumpers.
There's a 3 by Madelanis, and it rolls around and in. She's getting her touch back. It's 31-12.
She's feeling it tonight.
Here's Oliver now with the Indians in big trouble, down by 19. That's a 2-point shot. No good. Madelanis with the rebound. Who else?
Good screen and roll coming off, though. Good screen coming off. And, you know, there it is again. That fast break. They're getting back on. They're not hustling back on defenses, Dartmouth. Bridgewater is just getting up the court, and they're running their zones very well.
Oliver's pass is intercepted by Madelanis. Surprise, surprise. Thought about a 3. Now she'll take a 2. She had 1 foot on, 1 foot off. It's no good. Rebound goes to Turgeon, but Turgeon almost had her pocket picked again, but she's somehow able to get it to Oliver. Oliver with a circus-like pass to Kojikaru, who just saves it.
You know, Oliver's doing a lot of work. You can tell she's a little tired right now, a little fatigued. You can see the fatigue in their passes.
And there's
another fast break.
Fast break up and no good. Rebound put back up. We had 2 shots, one by Calvani, one by Flaherty, no good. And the Indians get the luck of the Irish on that one. And they'll press on here. Here's Morin now in transition, trying to pass it in deep inside of the free throw line area, but it was intercepted and stolen by Flaherty, deflected back up top to Madelanis. Good defense by the Indians. We have a tie-up. Actually, before we had the tie, we had a timeout called by Scott Richards. Heads-up play by him to call the timeout, and he'll burn a 30.
I think on the last play, when who was it? Madelanis was coming down the court, or was that Bartlett that was coming? That was Calvani. She was trying to put the body in there to get the contact and the foul, but she couldn't get it. So, you know, instead of worrying about making a layup, I think that Dartmouth is coming out. They're moving the ball a little bit better. I seen a couple of more screens come out, a little bit more movement, some fresh cuts, some screens off the ball to get some of these young ladies open, just to help them get the ball in their hands so that they can, you know, score a basket or 2. You know, and get the momentum going. You know, it's a 19-point game, but like right now, you want your kids to get better and learn, and really run your stuff so that they get more comfortable as you go down the season.
But don't you think, from a coaching perspective, I guess the play would be try to get this to 10. If we can get it to 10 with the full half in front of us, now it's more manageable.
I think it's, you know, let's try to get some defensive stops. You know, and I think that Dartmouth is getting bad possessions because they're not getting a shot attempt. You know, the only bad possession I was always taught by, you know, Rob Mendes at the Boys and Girls Club. The only bad possession is a possession that we don't get a shot off. Okay, and you know, there's a few possessions where they have turnovers or they're not getting a shot off, so they're not even getting a 50-50 chance at scoring them at getting 2 points. But they're doing a good job going to the hoop. They're in the bonus. I think they need to keep on attacking the hoop, get to the foul line.
You know, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step here. But with that, we have another turnover.
On cue. We get a traveling car.
Oh, brother, we have a traveling car. Steps called against Morin. And just as I was trying to be all cliche and come on down, but the Indians just can't get out of their own way so far here today.
Little elevator screen play that they ran.
Deep 3 by Madelanis, no good. Rebound on the baseline.
Another offensive rebound.
Up and good. The putback was in by Calvani, but give the credit to Dana Posick. 1-on-2 grabs the offensive board, just boxed out 2 players.
It's just offensive rebounds. When you keep on getting them chances at possessions, you know, good things are going to happen the more chances you have.
Here's Eileen Boyle looking to kick it back to Kojikaru, another steal, and we have the Trojans again off to the races. It's up and good. That's Madelanis again. And now this thing is really starting to get out of reach. It's 35-12.
But we don't want the girls to lose confidence. What you want to do is keep on keeping
Keep
their
playing,
confidence
yes.
high. Keep their confidence high. Keep on having them work. Keep on talking to them. You can't be silent right now. This is when you have to really coach them up, because you don't want their spirits to
Correct.
get too low.
And we had a jump ball called, and the arrow will go to the Indians as we had a tie-up. To inbound right in front of us will be Meredith Sylvia, the junior forward off the bench.
They're looking to double Oliver every time she gets the ball.
Absolutely. Here's Oliver again. Gets it over to Morin. Morin slows it down. Nice bounce pass over to Boyle. Boyle trying to take it to the free throw line. Up top to Oliver. Oliver with 4 on the shot clock. She has to hurry up. Looking for something. 2. Throws up a circus shot. No good. Rebound grabbed by Cronin.
You know, they're having the movement going, but they're another fast break.
All alone baseline. The shot is up and no good by Jakes. Derek, from a coaching perspective, that's when you've got to put off the window.
Yeah, that you know, that's when you have to go right to the hoop instead of settling for that little 10-foot jump shot. You know, Dartmouth's a little fatigued right now. This is where off-ball screens comes in hand.
There's a
Big
three. It's up and good. Alexandra Kojukaru, one of the few offensive highlights we've seen this quarter, but that was a nice play.
Kojukaru stepping off, stepping back. I think that was a great job of how she came off that, came off the wing and stepped back to that 3.
We had a stoppage here. Looked like we had a little bit of an injury here for the Indians. We had a stoppage in play as Oliver was keeled over. She is now by her bench. Not sure what happened. She may just be a little out of breath, maybe, because you did mention how these players are into game shape.
And like BR is just, they're pulling them in, shuffling them in, and they're running hard, and they're running the floor, and they continue to run.
More in a bounce pass over to Sylvia. The shot is up, no good. Rebound tipped, and it's out of bounds. It'll go to the Trojans as the far side official under the hoop is going to say it went off of Boyle down low.
I think that was a good shot by Morin on the wing. I think that, somebody has to find a rhythm. And if, you're not shooting the ball, you're not going to find your rhythm. Morin's doing a good job of being everywhere, offensively and defensively.
Well, you see here, simple math. It is a 20-point game with $1:25 to go in the half. Up top, a free throw line jumper is no good, taken by Cronin, but Cronin gets her own rebound.
Another offensive board.
There's a step back 3 by Posick, partially deflected, and it's up and in. The putback was up by Cronin. Cronin has been a beast down low on the offensive boards.
She's just putting her hands up. She's putting her eyes up, and it's falling to her. And that's boxing out, and that's early season stuff that you can get, that you can get better at.
Kojukaru's bounce pass you saw was intercepted by Cronin, and now we have a putback up, and it's in. Count it, and we'll go to the line for a chance at an old-fashioned, old-school 3-point play. The putback was up and in by Reese Bartlett. It's 39-15. The foul is going to be against Meredith Sylvia. And that's her first personal, and now the Indians are in the penalty.
They're just banging the boards. You see a lot of movement when they're driving to the hoop. The bigs keep on going with the guards. So when the help defense comes over, the bigs are wide open after the help defense, and that's what they're just paying off on right now.
Here's Morin. The Indians will hopefully try to end this second quarter and first half on a positive note with a nice play here. We'll see. Here's Morin with 15 on the shot clock. Bounce pass near sign over, completed to Turgeon. Turgeon over to Kojukaru. Baseline.
Dribble the ball.
She has 8 on the shot clock. Tries to do it all herself. Gets double teamed, and it's stolen away. Again, thanks to Cronin and company.
And they're pushing the ball up the floor again.
Here's Posick. Tries a left-handed layup. No good.
Offensive rebound.
Yeah, now again, another play. On the left side of the arc now, it's Mulhern. Mulhern just came off the bench. Mulhern thought about a 3. 6 on the game clock. There's another 3 opportunity. Front rimmed. Shot was taken by Posick. Indians have a chance for a final shot. It's taken by Morin. It's up and no good. And the first half will come to an end here at the Carlin Lynch Activity Center with the score. The Indians trail the Bridgewater Raynham Trojans by a score of 40-15. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with second half action and a first half recap in less than 5 minutes here on Dartmouth Community Media. And welcome back, friends, for our third quarter and second half action here on Dartmouth Community Media and DCTV. Ian Abreu alongside Derek Baptiste, where the Indians can hope and pray for a better third and fourth quarter and second half than they had in the first, as they trail 40-15 against one of the best teams in the state, the Bridgewater Raynham Trojans. Derek, I know you went over the first half scores, and I know you have a recap for us on how it played out.
Madalonis, 3. She has 12 points. She's really the person that got Bridgewater Raynham going, and then she got Botlett coming in with 10 points, and it's just going down the line. You see, a lot of players in that 2-4 point range, 3-point range. They got a lot of consistency throughout their whole lineup. They don't have no dump off when they go to their bench. As far as Dartmouth, Oliver's leading them with 8 points. Right behind her is with 5, and Kojabari with 3. They just need a little bit more help off. They're a young team. They need to find their way and make their bones, and they're going up against one of the best teams in the state.
And the thing about it, Derek, to the naked eye, and you watch the scoreboard and you look at what's going on, you could say, oh boy, can't the Trojans just pack it in and play the bench? They are playing their bench. They're just that good.
They're just really good. They go 10 deep, and there's really no lack of. And just imagine this: their best player is not even playing. So that's how, this is a good team. This is a team that has
a tie with a deep 3, no good rebound, grabbed by Calvani, up and no good. Calvani gets her a second opportunity, a third opportunity. It's good. Count it, and she'll go to the line. Bella Calvani, the senior forward. And so clearly Bridgewater Raynham has picked up, Derek, where they left off in the last half.
Bridgewater Raynham is really tough, and there it is again, just banging the boards. And if I had to say the one thing that's killing Dartmouth today, it's the offensive rebounds, the second chance, the third chance points going Bridgewater Raynham's way.
And Calvani nets the old school 3-point play. 43-15 now your score.
I would like to see a lot more screen action coming on for Dartmouth right now. I would like to see them set more screens to get people open. They're running with the cuts, and this Bridgewater team is very good at switching defense and help defense. So you really got to start setting some screens for these girls to get them open.
Oliver thought about a 3, takes it to the goal. She's hacked on the way up, draws some contact as she was guarded by Calvani. The ball is out of bounds. There will not be a foul called. She was trying to draw the contact, but it was deflected off Calvani. So it'll remain Dartmouth ball with 9 on the shot clock.
I don't know how the people are looking at it at home, but if you can see the girls up here, there's a big size differential between the Bridgewater girls and the Dartmouth girls. You can tell that age, that experience, that aggressiveness. You know, that's where they're ahead right now.
Charlotte Ronan on the ground, gets her pocket picked and stripped, and here's Silva off the races, bounce pass over, shot is up, no good, rebound, put back up again, and it's good. Calvani on multiple back-to-back drives, Derek gets her own rebound and banks it home.
Calvani's just a monster down there right now. She's cleaning up the boards and catching all them. They haven't called the play for her yet. She's scoring on offensive rebounds and just running the floor.
Drawing the contact for the Lady Indians was Samara Turgeon on the jump shot. Draws the foul. That'll be a clear and blatant 2-shot penalty. And the foul will go against Calvani, her second personal, first team foul of the half.
Take your time, make your foul shots, put some points on the board, get used to it. She's a senior. She's been here before. She understands the game.
We have a sub for the Indians. Abby Zuber checks back in. We saw a lot of her in the first half. She'll come in. And Charlotte Ronan will take a seat. So Turgeon makes them both. Those are the 2 first points of this half.
Now let's dig down deep on defense. Get a couple of good defensive possessions. You see the backdoor cut.
Calvani, a reverse layup is good. You just said it, Derek. They haven't had a set play for her yet. That was a set play.
That was a set play.
And she Kobe'd it off the window. And there's a side shot by Turgeon is no good.
Another rebound. They're running the floor again, looking up the sideline. Somebody's going to run the middle.
Calvani, nice cross-court pass to Silver on the timeline. Madalonis, she's money in the bank from beyond the arc. And she is again. Another 3 for Kenzie Madalonis, 50-17.
Good ball movement. Veteran play. They just look really good. You can. This is one of the better teams. Like, you know, Dartmouth can't feel down about themselves. They're playing one of the best teams in the state right now.
We're talking a legitimate Division I powerhouse here.
Legitimate every year.
3-on-1, all alone. It's up and good. Talia Ta, and you've got to think Scott Richards is going to call a timeout at some point to just, at the very least, regroup his squad. The game is lost. It's a foregone conclusion now, Derek. But as you said, now let's try to set some plays up.
Let's try to set some stuff up. Let's look forward to the future. Let's not have people feel down. You know, let's run something. Let's try something. Let's go into the bag right now, as they say. Let's get into your bag and see what you have to offer, and, you know, work on things and see what works for you, see what don't work for you. This is a good in-game scrimmage for girls that haven't had scrimmages yet.
And that was Talia Ta. She's heating up. Multiple baskets on back-to-back possessions. Here's Morin. Over to Zuber. Zuber trying to go 1-on-3, and she'll bounce pass it on the right side of the timeline. And she lost control. That was Jenkins now with it, and now it's Matalunas on the steal. She'll take another 3. No good, but there's the rebound. Who else by Calvani?
Setting another one. Screen high.
Matalunas
down
low.
Baseline cut. Dartmouth's looking at the ball. They're not even seeing the defenders right now.
There's Fiona Kelly, banks it in.
Again.
And it's great to sit with a former player and a basketball coach here, Derek, because you are legitimately predicting everything that's happening. You're calling it as it's happening, and it just develops right in front of your eyes.
I feel like Tony Romo right now.
I feel like Tony Romo. You know what? You're better than Hubie Brooks, okay?
He'll be Brown.
Brown, I mean, Brooks. I'm going to say Hubie Brooks was a baseball player for the Montreal Expos in the 80s.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember that. I'm that old.
Yeah. Played for the Expos. Hubie Brown. But we're going to get an emptying of the bench here by BR. We're going to get more players in, more players out. 5 in, 5 out, a complete swap from the bench to the floor.
And the only difference between BR's bench right now is their size. If they had a little bit more size coming off the bench, they wouldn't be that far behind that starting group that just came out the game. They're looking for down the road.
Kojugaru, and the clock just stopped. We had it was a shot clock violation against Kojugaru and the Indians. No one even realized the shot clock was winding
No one
down.
even realized the shot clock was winding
They
down.
had not a clue.
They're in the man-to-man. They're running the full cross high.
And here's Posick.
She's going through. They're going to send somebody right back down to cut.
There's the cut.
There
and it was down low, but it was stripped away.
Got away with a little travel right there.
And the Indians will have it.
That's a little 40-point help right there. When you're down, you don't want to pour salt on the wound right now. You want to get these girls a little bit better.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, right now I still want to see. I want to see some screens come off for Dartmouth. They have to. I haven't really seen anybody set screens and get anybody else open off the ball, off the dribble. I would like to see a little bit more of that from them to open up these girls a little bit, man, and get them to the hoop or get them to the foul line.
Here's Ramus. Ramus will drop it back to Sylvia. Sylvia.
Pass, cut.
This Ramus again.
And then they're cutting off the ball.
And then the high pick, and there's a shot. That's a two-pointer taken by
another offensive
Jakes,
board.
no good. But the rebound is grabbed by Posick up off the window, no good. Rebound grab, shot on the left side, a two-pointer up and no good. Rebound by Morin, and she'll grab it down.
Morin's playing a tough game defensively, rebounding. Take one. she was there. She might as well chuck it.
Morin thought about the three, Derek, and I thought the same thing. She was right there, but she decides to dish the rock. Yep. Tries to pass it back to her teammate. Goes off the hands of Hall out of bounds. Bridgewater Raynham ball. So to inbound for the Trojans, it'll be a side out. It'll be Ashley Jakes. This third quarter has breezed on by. Not a lot of timeouts.
Not a lot of fouls called.
Letting the girls play.
And they're playing clean too. It's they're not playing a tough game. They're playing pretty clean for the most part.
And Jakes draws the contact down low there. She'll shoot a pair. Take a look at that last foul.
She's going to the hoop, just getting there. Another offensive board, and it comes on the slap, coming down with the hands coming down.
The foul goes against Emma Tatro. That's her first personal.
And they're looking for the block instead of getting your hands up, moving your feet on defense. Right. A lot of them fouls get called during this time because lazy feet, right. Getting a little tired.
Back rimmed offensive board, shot up by Jakes is no good, but the Trojans now get a fresh shot clock down low, up and in for Dana Posick on the layup. 57-17. Excuse me. Now 59-17.
The difference between, with having the two defenders down low, if you get a long rebound, the offensive team is going to get, they've gotten every long rebound.
Sure.
So, they're trying to keep it so that people don't get rebounds. Maybe they should move them up a little bit instead of being at the block, maybe move up another line so they're in the middle and it gives everybody a chance, because if it's a long rebound, the offense is going to get it every time.
Jenkins' bounce pass is stolen up and no good on the rebound. That was taken by Flaherty, and the defensive board is grabbed by Hall. We have a stoppage, and a double dribble is going to be called now against Hall.
Tough turnover. That's a unexcused error right there.
Double dribbles and palming violations are ones that, as a coach, you must want to rip your hair out of your head.
Yeah, it's it's the pass and leaving the feet when you pass, and not challenging the cutter, and the little things. And they're running that elevator play again to get the shooter open. She passes, it goes through. They send one person off the wing through, and then they send her through the elevator up.
Haley Jenkins strips it away from Posick, kicks it over to Hall. Hall puts up a 2, and it's good.
It's good.
Nice shot that time. And it's now 59-19.
Get a little confidence going. They move the ball a little bit, push the ball up the floor a little bit.
Here's Posick setting off a screen from Cronin. Now we have a 2-point shot up and no good. That shot was taken by Jakes. Rebound, again, is grabbed by the Indians, and it was snagged by Zuber. And I have to admit, the Indians have played better lockdown defense here in this third quarter than they did in the second.
As it got down, well, if you look at it, BI took all their height out. They're very big. They're very big up front. And now it's pretty even. So now the girls have a better chance at grabbing rebounds and boxing out. They got to get a little bit of that dog in them too. They have to get tough and, realize that it's going to be a tough year. And, to play against these tough teams, you have to toughen it out.
There's a 3-ball by Jenkins, and it's good. Haley Jenkins, the freshman forward. And that certainly will prove to be the offensive highlight in this third quarter for Dartmouth.
Good 3-pointer. Good shot. She stepped into it.
Not to be outdone is Emma Flaherty. She now nets a three. 62-22, Derek. A 40-point game, and the Indians will play for the final shot, I would think.
The Indians are looking for a shot. Good movement right here.
10 seconds to go. An ill-advised deep three fadeaway falling back, taken by Tatro, way out of bounds. And now the Trojans have a chance with 4.9 left.
I would like to see them come off some of them screens with handoffs. A couple of them handoffs being with screens.
Here's Posick. Over to Flaherty. That would have been good, that three, but it back irons and out. And that'll culminate the third quarter of play here at the Activity Center with the score 62-22 in favor of the Lady Trojans from Bridgewater, Raynham. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back, Derek and I, for the fourth and final quarter of action in less than 3 minutes. Welcome back, friends, as we're about to kick off the fourth and final quarter here with the score. Wish I had better news for you, Indian fans, but unfortunately the homestanding Lady Indians are trailing by a score which, if I were a betting man, I would say they're not going to overcome, unfortunately, this evening. 62-22. But, Derek, you've got to put things in perspective. We've talked about it all night long. This is a rebuilding team, a young team playing against probably we're looking at the Division I state title champion at some point in the future.
And that's where their goals are. Their goals are on state championships and getting better as they go. I think Dartmouth right now just needs to keep playing tough. Play 8 minutes of hard basketball. Try to win every minute. Play your hardest for the next 8 minutes. Get the most that you can get out of yourselves right now. And this is just work right now. This is work right now.
Here's Oliver. Let's see what happens here. And now you're playing for pride.
And just when you think they're over, their starters are back in the game. I had a friend, Sean Medina, back in the day. We went to the rec tournament, the old recreation tournament, and he played against Mike Herron's buddies team. And I said, "How'd you do?" He said, "Well, we was down 50. We cut the lead to 45, and he put his starters back in."
Wonderful. There's a baseline floater by Silva, no good. Rebound grabbed by Jenkins.
Eyes up, find your guard, look up the floor.
Nice move by Jenkins there. A free throw line jumper is partially rejected by Calvani, but the Indians still have possession.
Set a screen high. I need to see something come up.
Still no screen. There was a bounce pass by Oliver. Now back up top to Jenkins, who has some nice moves, but her pass inside is stripped away by Calvani. And as Calvani crosses the timeline, she draws the swipe, and she'll draw the foul against the Indians, and it'll go against Zuber.
You're not going to get away with them little things against Calvani. These girls have seen everything. They've been to the Garden. They've played for everything. So there's not much that you can put past them.
Madelon, this nice drop pass, dropping it back over to Kelly. Kelly to the rack. It's no good. And the rebound grabbed by Hall.
Good move. Eyes up. Swing it. Get rid of it.
Oliver.
Who's coming to the ball? Everybody's running away from the ball, and they're not helping her.
Oliver finds Hall finally, and Hall again runs into a wall the wall of Kelly and Calvani. She does draw the foul, does draw the contact. It will not be a shooting foul, of course. It was on the floor. The foul will go against Calvani, her third personal, third team foul here in the half. To inbound in front of her own bench will be Zuber. Zuber will complete it to Oliver. Thought about a shot. Instead, will go down low to Morin, who maybe had a shot, but instead she opts to slow it down, and she tries to go cross baseline, and it's intercepted by Fiona Kelly.
Kelly, she was just in help defense, standing there playing free safety. And as you see what they do, they move around without the ball well. They spread the floor, and they find, look,
that was a great up and under move there, Derek, by Kelly. Shades of Kevin McHale over there. It was no good, but still, regardless, this team can shoot. They're physical. Yeah. They can run.
They got moves. They know where everybody's going to be. That's that's playing together for years. That's good coaching too, and
sure.
Sometimes when you got the strongest horse, who's better, the horse or the jockey?
Here's Jenkins trying to go up, and she's going to draw the foul on the way up. It's going to be a blocking foul against the Trojans.
If it's against Calvani, she's out. That's her fifth. No.
And nope, it's going to be against Kelly. They were both there, but they're going to give it to Kelly.
Call it on Calvani. They're both everywhere. If it's fair to say, they're both everywhere. They've been a wall all night for Dartmouth, and they play help defense. They're very physical. They're very fast. You can tell. They're in great shape right now, and they're looking forward to their future.
Jenkins will try to complete the second of her 2 free throws, and she'll miss them both. Here's Silva with the ball now. Silva just slowing it down, quarterbacking this offense. Up top, that's a 3, and it's good. Abby Mulhern from beyond the arc.
That's the same play they've been running. That little elevator play, sending the wing through the cut.
There's a 3 now attempted by the Indians by Moore, and it's no good, but the rebound was partially grabbed by Oliver, and Oliver is tied up by Kelly, and it is a jump ball, but the arrow's going to go to the Trojans.
Go to Bialis. Let's see what they're going to run coming down again. They like to send Ta to the opposite wing, and then if they send her through, here it comes. One coming through, screen through, Ta through.
Right on clockwork. There's a 3 from the corner, and it's up and no good. It was taken again by Mulhern.
I'm going to see this play in my sleep.
There's Hall.
Good pass. Let's
over
get a
to
cut.
Morin.
Shoot the ball. She's she gets to shooting spot. I think she needs to put up the ball a couple of times.
Well, we had called that out a few plays ago. Morin had a chance under the hoop on the offensive rebound, and she kind of kicked it back out.
She did a good job getting into the lane. While you get into that lane, if right now you don't have much, so you might as well do whatever you can to put a point on the board.
So Oliver will shoot a pair. We have another sub coming in. This time it'll be Amani Ramus. First time we've seen her tonight, Derek. She'll come in for Lauren Hall.
Amani Ramus is the daughter of the great Dwayne Ramus that won a state championship at New Bedford High School in their first of their back-to-back championships. So she got it in her blood. So let's see. She's still a freshman, so we'll see what's going on. And shout out to Dwayne, my main man.
And Oliver makes 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. 65-23 now is your score.
Let's see what we can do for the next 5 minutes. Let's see what the score is for the next 5 minutes. If they're understanding what Bridgewater is running, if they're going to defend it, help defense, and just stay tough with it.
Bartlett over to Flaherty. Flaherty trying to kick it back up top of the key to Cronin. Out of bounds, just out of her reach. It'll be a turnover for BR. Well, here's Oliver again. Oliver, for all intents and purposes, is the quarterback of this offense. Sets it up, dump it off on the right side, back over to Oliver. Oliver, right side of the arc, slows it down, 15 on the shot clock. Oliver, kick it over to Morin. Morin going to the rack, shot is front rim, gets her own rebound, up and good.
Thank you. I've been waiting for that for 3 quarters. She's been having that shot there. She needs to have confidence in herself and take the shot.
Audrey Morin with another offensive rebound. Down low, the putback up is no good as the shot was taken by Kara Cronin, and she draws the contact against Ramus, and she'll shoot a pair at the line.
Another offensive, possession where they're cutting without the ball, they're moving without the ball, screening without the ball. And, they're just getting Dartmouth mixed up because there's not really a lot of communication on their defense. The help defense is pretty far away. These are things that young teams have to work on, and I'm sure the coach is going to have, plenty of time to watch the tape and go over these little things that they can work on. And, that's part of having a young team.
And she can't make the second, but the offensive board is grabbed by Bartlett, and it's put back up and in. Posick.
Very good rebounding team. Very sound. They're very good to the ball. When the ball comes off the rim, they're very, very good to the ball. I'm seeing a lot of cuts by Dartmouth. They're not looking for the ball on their cuts. They're not going around the player, trying to get the possession. Little things.
Another steal by Bridgewater Raynham, that time by Bartlett, as she gets it up now across the midcourt area. The ball is deflected out of bounds. It does go off of the foot of Morin, so it'll result in the possession remaining with the Trojans. And to inbound will be Posick, who scored that last bucket for BR. In a 65-27 game with 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go before we call the inevitable a Bridgewater Raynham opening night victory here on the Dartmouth High School campus.
And we call this a lesson. We don't call this a loss. We'll call this a lesson. And, because you learn a lesson on what you're going through, what you've seen, and how to be better. You're looking at a veteran team. You're looking at a good team. So, your goal should be, how do I beat this team right here? How do I get to this team?
There's a three rolled around, up and in by Dana Posick, the junior guard. And, boy, they're getting all the bounces tonight, Silk.
Yeah, they're getting all the rolls. They're getting all the butter on the roll tonight.
Here's Ramus. I'm curious to see what Amani does, but she's stripped and gets her pocket picked by Flaherty. Off to the races, no good. But all alone under the hoop with the rebound is Posick. Her shot is no good, but she's smacked on the way up. She'll shoot a pair at the line. Oh, they're going to call it out of bounds.
Yeah, out of bounds. Oliver didn't get her feet back in.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to call it a foul there. The play was stopped, so it is a side out of bounds, so it'll remain BR ball.
Oliver looks a little fatigued right now. She had to do a lot of work early.
Here's Ramus for a three. Yes. Excuse me, check that. Posick. Posick with the three from way beyond the arc, 73-25.
Posick's coming in like Lee Smith. She's the closer right now. She's just closing out the fourth quarter. And it's tough when you have everybody in the scorers column on BR. That they all can score, they all can play.
Jump ball and the arrow goes to the Indians. I remember Lee Smith when he closed for the Red Sox for a few years.
He had the Jerry curl.
He did. The Red Sox traded him for. Do you remember who he did?
I do not remember.
They traded him for Tom Bernansky.
Really?
For the St. Louis Cardinals. That's correct.
Wow. I'm a Cubs fan.
Oh, my condolences. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay.
I like the Cubs. I really do. I always have. But the Red Sox are my team, of course. There's a floater by Zuber.
That's all right. Good shot.
No good, out of bounds, but it's going to remain Dartmouth ball because on the missed opportunity, Posick had the ball, stepped on the end line, and the Indians will now get the ball back with the fresh 30.
A little pressure by Dartmouth late, They got the kids in the game right now, so they're gonna get their bones right now. This is when you get it.
Is Turgeon, nice spin move, kick it out to Hall. The shot is no good.
Okay.
Rebound is on the floor. Who wants it? And it's Madalonis who gets it. Madalonis has been a little quiet in the second half, but she really didn't have to do much.
She really didn't. She's just coming in right now, and she's just running the offense and.
Flaherty no good. Deflects her own rebound. It's
another
grabbed.
Offensive board.
Yeah, by Posick.
Yeah.
Nice cut down low. It's up and no good. The shot was taken by Jakes.
A little give and go. Old school. They're so fundamentally sound with their cuts. They're so fundamental with their screens.
Turgeon with a three, and it was sort of a line drive type shot. She just misses, and
Bottler gets a rebound, little nudge in the back to open up a little bit of space.
is Posick with the ball. And as we tick down under the final minute of this game,
late in the game, the referees aren't really going to call much but out of bounds right now.
You have to call that. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's out of bounds. That's all they're going to call.
Yeah, you
got
to call it. Yeah,
they're trying to.
Unless, of course, we see a Kurt Rambis style.
Yeah,
Kevin McHale under the hoop here.
I think these ladies are too classy for that right now, so we won't see it.
Here's Turgeon up top. Turgeon again with the give and go. Now that's 22 Hall. Hall back over to Turgeon. Turgeon going on her own to the rack. No good. Rebound. It's grabbed by Hall. And Hall's shot is no good, and the rebound's grabbed by BR. And I'm going to assume here, Derek, they're going to bleed the clock and not even take a shot.
No, they shouldn't. But we don't know.
Here's Flaherty.
It's still open. They're still cutting and moving, so there's a chance.
Here's Mulhern, who hit a three earlier in this quarter, and Flaherty has it. 4 seconds. I don't think we're going to see a shot as Posick has a chance, and she won't do it. And that'll wrap things up here from the Carlin Lynch Activity Center as the Indians fall hard on opening night here, but growing pains here as this is a young team. They lost a lot of players. They lost 6 seniors to graduation, Derek. And your final thoughts on this one? Obviously, the Indians have some work to do, but this is a rebuilding year, and they were playing against one of the best, if not the best, Division I team in the state.
Bridgewater has 10 kids suit up today. They had 10 kids in the scoring column with multiple baskets. They were tough on the offensive boards. They was a tough team today. On the Dartmouth side, I think they got a lot to look forward to in the future. I think that once the coach sees the film and what his team did really well and what they didn't do really well, they have a lot to build upon, and the thing is to keep your confidence, know that this is a different year than past. You're not going to get all the practices in. You're not going to get all the games in. So make the best of every opportunity that you have.
And they're well coached by Scott Richards. So the next time we have a telecast for you, we will anticipate, obviously, a more different showing, and we'll see what happens. But again, that'll wrap things up here. And with the win, the Bridgewater Raynham Trojans improved to 1-0 on the 2021 campaign, while the Dartmouth High Lady Indians fall to 0-1 in their 2020 season. For Peter Chase, our technical director, our entire crew here, for my broadcast partner, Derek Baptiste, again, the final score for the final time. The Bridgewater Raynham Trojans 73, the Dartmouth High Indians 25. This is Ian Abreu on behalf of all of us. So long, everybody, and we'll see you soon. This has been an exclusive production of Dartmouth Community Media and DCTV Sports.